Hey, all you bariatric nerds out there. Hope you're having a great day. I'm having a great day pretty much today. I'm on day 3 of my pre-op um, diet of the full liquids. So I am just a few days, 5 days from my surgery, which is next Wednesday. Today is Friday, April 24th of 2015, and I'm doing well on the liquid diet, better than I was afraid I was going to do, although I've been pretty hungry again at night. That seems to be my downfall. During the day I'm okay, but at night I really want to eat, and so sugar-free Jello is a lifesaver there. But I want to go over a couple of things, give you a couple of tips to help you if you're thinking about this, or if you're getting ready to go through the pre-op diet. Some things to do and some things not to do, hopefully. And the first one, I guess, is probably the most important. Is this is where you really want to start practicing eating slower than you normally do. I know for me, with my other surgery, it has slowed me down some, even for the past 15, 20 years, however long it's been. But before that, I could scarf down a McDonald's Big Mac in about 5 seconds, and certainly can't even do that now with my vertical banding surgery. But I can still eat pretty doggone fast. You know, but you want to really practice eating slowly, even if it's a protein shake. Don't chug it. You want to take your time, take a sip, and because you're going to do this after surgery, you're going to have to eat more like this, especially if you're having bypass, or any of them actually. You're going to have the tenacity to stay with it and eat slowly. And I've got a couple of apps that I'm going to talk about to help with that. But the other thing is drink plenty of water. Crystal Light is my best friend. And if you don't like Crystal Light, something sugar-free, something that's going to give some flavor to the water. Does help. It helps a lot. It helps me anyway. I like the taste of water, but I just prefer the taste of cherry or lemonade or something like that. So I'll talk about some other things. One of them is a journal, and I started a journal when I started this, the diet. And every night I sit down, and of course I'm a computer nerd, geek kind of guy, and that's what I make my living with computers, so that's pretty obvious that I'm going to do this. And I don't sit down and write, but you can certainly sit down with a notepad and write with a pen if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that, but I sit down and I have a Word document that I keep saved on my OneDrive, my cloud, if you will, and pull it down. And I even go back and kind of read a couple of the ones that where was I a week ago? How did I feel a week ago or a month ago? I haven't gotten that far, but want to be able to go back and read those things. And just put down in a paragraph or two, just kind of keep it short, but just how did I feel today? How did I feel I did today? Any goals that I might have met, or anything like that, just put them down and keep that and keep it up and do it daily. I don't know how important this is, but emotionally it's helped me already, just to be able to put down in words my feelings and my thoughts, and then go back even a week ago, looking at a week ago and reading that. So that's one tip. You can do it again, like I say, on a computer, or you can do it handwritten, however you want to do it. It's up to you, but just keep that daily journal. And I've also started keeping not only this video journal, like I'm doing, I'm taking pictures, before and after pictures. And I think that's a big thing that we all need to do. And not just keep the one where, oh, the day before surgery, this is what I look like, and now I look like this 2 years later, whatever. Keep taking those pictures, and take them every, I'd say every week or two, so that you can look at your progress side by side. And you know, if you just have a frontal view of yourself, and I'm actually taking 4 views. I'm taking the front, both sides and back, just to make sure, just to kind of go back and say, okay, this is what all 4 sides look like. And I can already tell at 13 pounds, even though that's 372 pounds down to 359. That doesn't seem like a lot when you do it as a percentage of whatever, but it's still a lot. 13 pounds is still a lot, even for a big guy like me. And I look at that, and I can already see progress. I can already see in my face. I can already see in my body those changes, and they're maybe a little minute from the standpoint of it's not a big major, oh my God, he's lost 100 pounds, but it keeps me motivated. And I think that's the big thing, is to look at that, especially if you do it every couple of weeks and just sit down and look at them and go, wow, this is where I am, this is where I was, this is where I am now. And in between, this is what happened, and this is how I got here. So it's as good as the journal, I think, in my opinion. So you want to keep that up. And like I say, I just use a Word document. I'll keep the pictures on file so I can go back and refer to them. And I want to be able to do that later on. And I might even share them with you as we go forward. The other thing I wanted to talk about is a couple of apps that I use on my phone. I found for my phone, and I'm using that are really helpful, and I think they will be for you. I'm a Droid guy. I'm not an iPhone guy. My wife has an iPhone. My kids all have iPhones. Both my stepdaughters have iPhones. But I have a Droid. I guess I'm the black sheep of the family from that standpoint. So these are Droid apps. I'm sure there are iPhone apps out there that are at least similar. But in these apps, I'm sure there are other apps that are the same, or maybe a little different, or whatever. But these are the ones that I've been using. A couple of them I've been using. A couple of them I haven't tried yet. I haven't set them up yet, but I'm going to try. They seem interesting from what I can see, and they'll be very helpful. And I'll put them on the screen, the names, so that you can pause this thing and go, okay, what did he say? And write it down. But the first one is MyFitnessPal, and probably a lot of you are familiar with MyFitnessPal if you're in bariatric surgery in the journey, because it seems to be one that's really popular with them, and it's really a food and exercise journal. It's what I use it for more than anything. And you put down breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any snacks, and it gives you the nutrition values based on the labels. And so you and you can also put your own recipes in there, your own meals, if you're one of those people that Sheldon Cooper types that every Monday night I have pizza from so and so. And anyway, but so you can do that. You can set it up. It has favorites, so that if you eat the same thing a lot, like sugar-free Jell-O right now, I'm entering that a lot. So you have a place for those favorites that you can put them in there. You can also put in your activity and your water. So that's a good app, MyFitnessPal. And I know for sure that that's a Droid and an iPhone app, and you can also do that online. You can do it without the phone or the tablet or the iPhone or anything. You can do it just on your computer if that's all you got. The other one that I am using right now is Slow Mo Eating Time. Here's one of my apps going off right now, actually, and we'll talk about it in a second. But Slow Mo Eating Time. Timer. And this thing is pretty neat, especially to help you practice slow eating and eating properly the way we're supposed to. If you got, it defaults to 20 bites and 30 seconds between each bite. But you can set it to whatever, if your meal is going to be like 30 bites or 10 bites or whatever, but the recommendation is 20 bites on a lot of the healthcare sites talk about 20 bites, and that's not bariatric. That's just normal. Um, and then you set up the number or the time between the bites. So it defaults to 30 seconds. I'm moving mine to 1 minute. And when you take your first bite, you hit go. And so it says, okay, you've taken a bite, and there's a little timer. And then after 1 minute, you can set it to either vibrate your phone or alarm or flash or whatever to say, hey, okay, it's time, you can take another bite. So then you take another bite. And so now you have, if it's 20 bites, now you've taken 2, you have 18 left, and it shows that. And then it gets down to, okay, you've only got 5 bites left, so it turns yellow. Oh, you've only got 2 bites left, it turns red, something like that. Anyway, very good app, very nice. I really like it. Again, slow-mo eating timer, and I've used that one. I've also used this one that just went off a little bit ago, meal reminder. And what it does, it reminds you, reminds you, this is, it says, when it's time to eat. And that's okay. I like this app, okay. But it just says, okay, breakfast, you set it for whatever time to eat breakfast, and then it has 5 meals that you can set up on it. Breakfast, snack, lunch, and then it calls it dinner, I believe it is, and then supper or something like that. But anyway, so it sets it up for 5 meals, and I don't know, maybe you can change it. I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but the little alarm goes off like you heard a while ago. It's time for me to eat my second breakfast. I'm sorry, breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe it's 6 time. Maybe it says dinner, then supper, and then snack. But anyway, you set it up for those. And it reminds you, because a lot of times I know I've heard some bariatric patients who have forgotten to eat. So this helps remind you, hey, it's time to eat. I know this is something that's probably good for diabetics if you forgot to eat or forgot to take your insulin or something like that. I've been using that one. I'm okay with it. I'm hoping that this next one is maybe a little bit better. And that's what called Bariatric Timer. Bariatric Timer is one that you can set up. Basically, you set up how long after you drink that you're allowed to eat, and how long after you eat you are allowed to drink again. So, and I can't remember, it's 15 minutes before and 30 minutes after or something like that. So you set it up, and then so you open it up and you say, okay, I just drank water or whatever, I just drank. So then it sets a timer and the alarm goes off and says, okay, now you can eat if you want to eat. So then you go along and you say, okay, I ate something, and then the timer goes into motion and says, okay, after the 15 or 30 minutes, the alarm goes off and says, okay, now you can drink again. And so it has little things like that. I haven't used it yet. I got to set it up. I'm going to try to set it up today, so maybe in my next journal video I can tell you a little more about it, but it looks pretty good. So those are little things that can help. Again, I've got 5 days until my surgery, so I'm going to try to make one, probably not before surgery, or day before surgery, and then make another video, maybe start making them a little more often right after my surgery. So we'll see where we get from there. In the meantime, God bless you, and I'm praying for all you guys that are looking at bariatric surgery or going through the same thing, and hope you are doing the same for me. And we'll be talking to you in a couple of days. For now, goodbye.